we are live. How are you guys doing today? I am able to take a break from the yard sale. We've had our yard sale now for 2 days. And let me tell you guys, it's been a lot of work. But let me go ahead. I want to put the link in the chat. Therefore, anybody wants to come up, can come right on up on stage. We can have a conversation. Hi, Kane. How are you? I am glad to be able to take this break. I tell you, this yard sale that I've had yesterday and today, it's been work. Dana, happy Sunday. So I was all for, I want to do a live. I can get away from the yard sale real quick because it's been a lot of work. But it's cleaned out all of my garage. Kane, you've had the flu for a week. Are you feeling better? I hope you're feeling better. I think that's the worst time to be sick is that summertime flu or the summertime cold, something like that is so bad to feel in the summer. Oh my gosh. I hope you're feeling better. Dana, you do? Oh my gosh, my garage sale was huge. We had the whole yard filled. Because, I'm a property manager, so a lot of people leaves their stuff. When they move out, whatever they don't want, they just leave it in the apartments. And so I just can't throw things away. So I take them home with me, and I end up just collecting all this stuff. So then I have to have a couple of yard sales a year to kind of clean it out. Yes, that summer codes are just horrible. I mean, horrible. So guys, I'm going to put the link in the chat one more time. I've invited a couple of people over to come in the chat. One person I invited over, I invited Karma Collector over. Have y'all heard of him? The Karma Collector? I invited him to come over on the live today, but he declined, sadly. He says that he's not going to do any lives until he actually talks with Gypsy Rose on a live. So I was kind of sad for that. No, Dana, you haven't heard. Gypsy Rose actually did one of those videos about him. That was the one that didn't have the teeth in his mouth. Remember, she took her teeth out to do that one? That's who he is. But sadly, he's not going to come over. But I did invite Steve to come over. He's got his own YouTube channel. I don't know if he's going to come over. And I also invited Gypsy's Panty Crust over to see if she'll come over and let us know what's going to go on today. So guys, I'm hoping somebody will come up. We can have a good conversation because it seems like a lot of stuff has happened this week. I mean, for me, it felt like this whole week, it felt like it was a whole month. And the drama that was this week is crazy. And that includes the whole Gypsy and her going on her TikTok to react. And I'm telling you, I think the reason why she went on her TikTok was just to re-up it. Because she knew she was getting close to that 30-day mark where she couldn't get it back. And she doesn't want to lose that TikTok account. Because if she does, I don't think she could ever get that many followers again. Because you guys know just as well as I do, that is not an organically grown TikTok account. Because if it was, don't you think that her Instagram would be almost right up there with it? You would think she would have just as many than what she has on her TikTok. And the way she was talking on her live was just crazy. Was it not? Yes, Kane agrees. Yes. And because she's not going to lose it. What I want to know, this is my question right now. Where's Ken? Where's Ken been out? We have not heard anything about him. We haven't seen him. Where's he? Where's Ken at? Now I did hear, and this is just speculation that I heard over on GRB Snark. Somebody was saying that maybe he's in. They said that they heard on a live that he may be in rehab. I just don't know. I don't know if I believe that. I just don't know if I believe that or not. Because, rehabs are pretty expensive. And I don't know if they've got, I just don't know if they've got insurance like that or not for him to go. Kane thinks that she may have done away with him. Oh my gosh. I actually heard, yes, rehab is so expensive. Even if you have insurance, it's crazy expensive. I mean, I think that they do have some that's cheaper. But do you really, this is my question. Do you really think that Rod and Christy would pay for Ken? Hey, Justin Shades. Do you think that Christy and Rod would pay for Ken to go to rehab? Yay, Dana. Every day, even if it's your first day, that's a celebration. That is such a celebration. I love that. But because if you read the emails, if you remember reading them, Rod did not even want to, what did they want, like $300 a month to go into, yeah, Justin Shays, yeah, his dad might, yeah. But wasn't there something between his dad and him? Do you guys remember that? I can't remember what it was. The lifetime NDA should be expired. Yeah, that could be right. Hi, Magical Mess. Yeah, you do have a right. Yeah, you got a point there. But I remember reading in some of these emails where Gypsy was wanting her dad to send, like, I don't know if it was $350 a week or $350 a month to go into Ryan and her's bank account so they could have a bank account together. And Rod and Christy would not even do that. So I just don't see them paying for him rehab. Guys, I hope one of you guys comes up and talks with me so we can have a conversation. I'm so hot today, but I'm still drinking coffee. Do you guys do that? I'm still drinking coffee, and it's 100 degrees outside. But I just thought it was funny because the way in Gypsy's lives, the live that she did, how she wanted to talk saying that she's not going to post any more on social media. She wasn't going to do anything like that. So she wants everybody to leave her alone. I don't think I believe that. But even though she's not posting on her own account. She's having everybody else do it for her by proxy. Like Sheena. And what I also have seen is that Gypsy's TikTok account is down again. It's not up anymore. Isn't that crazy? I think she's too scared that people's going to maybe start unsubscribing to her. I don't know. I just think it's really kind of strange. And, you know, for her to complain about Lifetime wanting her to, you know, post about her own show. Yeah, Kane, she'll be back on, yeah, I think she'll be back on her social media. But why would she complain about being, posting about her show? Because I think she was getting paid per the views, is what I heard back when all of that was going on. So the more people that watches her, the more money she would make. So why wouldn't she want to post on there? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And another thing that kills me is for her to say, Gypsy Rose is a liar. But she told all of us she was a liar. Remember? She told all of us that she was a liar. So why would she say that? It makes no sense. Did you let me step away from Gypsy Rose real quick and let me ask you guys. Did you guys see the Emmanuel Harrow situation? Have you guys seen that? With that 7-month-old little boy? They arrested the parents today. Oh, not today, but 2 days ago. They arrested that 7-month-old's little, their parents. And I kind of figured they would do that. But I didn't know if any of you guys were following that or not. So guys, tell me what's going on. Somebody come up and talk with this. Let's have a conversation. I thought Merlito was going to come up today too. Let me text Merlito. I thought Merlito was coming up too. Hold on. Well, hold on. And then it looked like she'll do a leaked video of her and Ken. Did you hear on her live, she was talking about, well, people said that they wanted me, maybe I could go on Cameo. I don't think she was refused. She can't go on Cameo because Cameo does not allow people with felonies to go on there. So she couldn't do Cameo. And because I think she tried. And then she was on that one thing where they would pay her $10,000 to come and speak. I think that's crazy. Is Ryan still doing his lives every day? Do you know? I don't know if Ryan is still doing his lives, because that to me got old pretty quick. I mean, who in the world wants to watch him do a live and here he keeps throwing it in everybody's face about his cameos? And who's buying these cameos to begin with? Who's buying them? That's what I don't understand. That to me is crazy. I just thought that was pretty weird. What do y'all think? Kane, do you think so? Well, you know that she likes the Kardashians. So that could be something that could be coming up soon. You never know. Did you guys watch that on Becca Scoops? She actually had that deal about that kitty fetish kind of thing. Do y'all remember seeing that? Oh my God. I thought that, yeah, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. But you know that she loves Kim Kardashian. So, I mean, who knows? She could try. I seen something. Was it Barbara? I think it was Barbara Ann from Straight Outta Context. She had a count, and there is now 21 kids that has tried to kill their parents. Have you guys heard of that? 21. And it's just like that Sarah Grace Parker. Do y'all remember Sarah Grace Parker? Yeah, that is very scary because you don't know from you go to bed and you know, just think about that. You go to bed and thinking that your kid may come and murder you while you're sleeping. I think that's crazy. I really think that's crazy. So, yes, Sarah Grace Patrick. Yes, Magical Mess. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Have you guys seen? She had a lot of like TikToks and things like that. And I just think that, have you seen the TikToks that Sarah Grace Patrick had? And the way that she acts is almost identical to the way Gypsy acts. It just seems like the narcissism that's there. And I just think that's just crazy to me. Because everything that Gypsy is saying about she did her time, and no, you did the time that they gave you. But they didn't do the time that she should have gotten, I don't think. Because anybody else that commissioned someone like that. Hey, Julie. But I mean, that's what I think. It's just strange to me. But have you guys seen Gypsy Penny Crust? Have y'all seen her? She had something on one of her, it was a short that she had. And she was talking about a new character. Yes, time based on lies, not facts. Yes. Purple Princess. And all the lies that she told. That's exactly right. And it just, I'm wondering, I was hoping Gypsy's Penny Crust came in here because I was wanting to know, she put that there is a new character in the Gypsy Rose community. Do you guys know who she was talking about? Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Because hold on, guys. Let me look. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'm gonna look. Hold on. Because I'm really wondering who she's talking about. And if I could find it, hold on, guys. Give me just a minute. I'm going to see if I can find it. Give me a second. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to find it because I need to know. She had somebody on there, and I couldn't think who it was that she had. Well, I can't find it. Let me see if I can find it on my phone. Julie, did you see it? Yeah, her and Case aren't jiving at all, and I just don't understand that whole situation. Is that who she put on there, Magical Mess? Is that the person? But do you guys know what I'm talking about? Hold on. I'm going to see if I can't send it to my phone. Hold on. I can't seem to find it now. Well, Julie, did you say it? It is? Because it was a blonde person. I didn't know who it was. That is crazy. But have you guys not seen? Now that I know what that's all about, I feel good. Since I know, because I really didn't know who it was. Have y'all seen Karma Collector? Have y'all seen him yet? Let me see. Let me see, guys. Let me see if I can do it. See if I can get Karma Collector. Let's see. Let me see if I can pull it up. Uh-oh, hold on. I want to see if y'all... This is Karma Collector. Have you guys seen him? Well, hold on. Let me see if I can play. I want to play his latest video, his latest short. Hold on, guys. Hold on.
A house divided will fall every time. And here's a prime example of this, guys. This is why I try to stay out of all the drama over on YouTube with all those content creators and shit. I just try to stay out of the drama. I make my little videos. I talk to my couple friends here, and that's about it. All right, on TikTok.
Yes, Purple Princess.
I do upload them to YouTube, but nothing's really happening over there. They shadow ban me or something. I don't get any views at all. But anyway, so the drama over there, guys, listen, all the anti-gypsy creators are all at some kind of weird, I don't even know what to call it. All of them, Nina, Toddy One Skip, Cash, Morbid. There's more. I can't even think of them all, but they're all going at each other, and they're all making videos with each other, and they're all saying this one's a Becca Scoops. That's a big one in the middle of them all. This one's a racist. This one's a liar. This one's this. Guys, this is exactly how the devil operates. Somehow, Gypsy or her people on her team were told how to do it, and they strategically somehow started trouble between these people by doing who knows what. Okay. And they were told what to do. And look, it worked like a charm. This is how the devil works. He sows confusion and chaos and all that. That is exactly what's going on right now, guys. The YouTube drama is absolutely nuts. Go watch over there. Go watch Cash or Nina or Gyps or Toddy or Becca Scoops. They're all ranting about one another and this and that and trying to justify this, that, and the other. It's all craziness. And this is all so they can be concerned with one another and lay off of their gypsy. That's what this is.
Guys, so what do you think about that? Uh-oh. Hold on. Uh-oh. So what do you guys think about that? I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, in my opinion, it makes sense. When you cause chaos, then nobody's, it's just like what I say. Because, guys, y'all know me by now. I'm a big conspiracy theorist. You got to think. If they don't want you to see something, they'll show you some drama way over here. And they're like, hey, everybody, look over here. While something else is going on that we need to be watching over on this side. Hey, Janice Harper. Chaos wherever she goes. Purple Princess, that is absolutely correct. But think about it, guys. Why? That's just what I don't understand. Why everything has just gotten so crazy. And it's almost like everybody has forgotten. Yeah. It's just like everybody forgot what we all came together to do. Didn't we come together to expose? And I'm really glad, for me, I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel better that I really am glad that Becca Scoops has gone the way she's gone. And I feel like what she's doing is really trying to help the community. She's really trying to get these lies exposed. She's like, forget about the drama, forget about all of this stuff that's going on. We need to keep exposing. Yep. Thank you, little Bo Peep. Little Bo Peep. I love that. And guys, I just think that Becca does awesome work. And what she's doing is what we do not need to lose focus on. And I think for a week or so, everybody was losing sight. Don't you guys think? Purple Princess says, I wish people would just focus on exposing Gypsy and getting justice for Dee Dee and Nick. Yes. All the other bickering is, and not only that, it makes us look like we are idiots. Is what it makes us look like. It makes us really and truly, it makes us look like we just want drama. That our anti-Gypsy community just wants drama. And that's not what we're here for. We didn't come just for drama. We came here to expose because we didn't want Gypsy to get out and get rich like she has with her mom's money, on her, because that blood money is what she has. Yes, high school. It's almost like, yeah, Yeah. And what it seemed like to me, for me as a creator, what it seemed like for me is that it was all, for some reason, a popularity contest. And I don't know why it just seemed like a popularity contest, and instead of, hey, let's all work together, let's expose this chick. Yes, Into the Weeds is going to CrimeCon, but I think, isn't 1980 Millennial going as well? I'm thinking 1980 Millennial is going to that too. I think she made that because I love her too. She is awesome. But I just kind of stay in my lane over here because I, because I don't know why Gypsy's panty crust was called out the way she did, way she was called out. I think that, in my opinion, she was just putting her opinions out there. And sometimes our opinions are right, sometimes they're not. I'm so happy, Julie, that they're going. So happy. But I just felt that was wrong because Gypsy Pennycrust, she's a small creator just like I am. And I always hate when the bigger creators attacks the smaller ones. Why are you attacking a creator that is not even half the size of you? Hey, Seeds of Change. Has who gone? I don't know what that question is. But I mean, I kind of felt really bad for Panty Crust because I just really think I like watching her. She was actually on my live a couple of weeks ago, and she's a very smart woman. And she's actually exposed a lot of things. And I think that right now in our community, I think that a lot of people are kind of gun shy right now. This is right. Yes, Julie. We seem to have a bunch of people who wants to feel important when, as you said, we are here to expose the possum. That is exactly right. No, Seeds of Change. She is not. I hadn't seen anything from her in a while, and I did see that she has posted, and I did reach out to her, and I invited her to come up, to come to the live and come on up and talk with us. Let's see. Certain ones want to always be the first and take credit. And who cares if you're the first one? We should be appreciating each other because I think that with all the creators, everybody brings something to the table. And I think, and like I was about to say earlier, I think that the people in this community has gotten kind of shy because how many people have you watched and you trusted, and then all of a sudden they wasn't who you thought they were. I think that's what's going on because there has been a few people that has done that, and it makes you think, who can we trust? And I think that's a big thing in the community right now. I love Gypsy's Penny Crust. I love her. I love her. I think that what she does is I really think that she tries to expose the truth. And what is so wrong? Sometimes what we think could be right, sometimes what we think could be wrong. But why can't we all put our own, hey, I'm thinking this, hey, I'm thinking that. What is so wrong with having a conversation? That's what I think. I never trusted the woo-woo bestie person at all, Janice. I never trusted her. You know, I could never get. I tried to watch some of her videos, but I always, hey Violet, I always felt like there was something strange when she was making her videos. And then I don't know, I feel funny when people all of a sudden come out with a GoFundMe. I Justin Shades, yeah, I did too. But you know when she came out and she was wanting that GoFundMe to get a lawyer, and it was like $30,000. Yeah, it is weird. But once they do this GoFundMe like that, it makes me think something. I start getting, I start building walls whenever I start hearing that somebody puts up a GoFundMe like that. So that's what made me feel funny about her. Once she did that, I was like, sounds like to me you're on there just to try to take somebody for money, because you know it doesn't cost over $30,000 to retain a lawyer. Are you kidding me? And then that whole traffic stop that she was talking about, you know, but she didn't want to put out the real facts. I thought that was funny. That, Julie, that is so true. We are one slow-mo train wreck. Yeah, you can't look away. I mean, it's just coming straight at you. You can't. Yeah, I feel a certain kind of way too. I think that I've kind of been like you guys as well, because with everything that's kind of happened in the past, I'm kind of watching what's going on, who's getting a little closer here. I don't know, just because I thought that Amber J person, I didn't know that her and Gypsy were friends. And then when she came on there and said, she said, what's me being friends with Gypsy have anything to do with you guys? Well, baby, it has a lot to do with your followers, because most of them followed you because they were anti-Gypsy people. Who? Hold up, little Bo Peep. Who? Hold on. Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about there? I don't know this person either. And who's this person? Oh, gotcha. Got you. Yes. Got you. I know who you're talking. See, I'm a little slow sometimes. I've been up since 4:30. I was up really early getting everything ready for the yard sale that I had this weekend. Even on my 2 days off, I got up at 4:30 getting everything ready. So I'm exhausted after my weekend of being off from work. but you know, I have to tell you, I'm watching a lot of the smaller, I think, creators now, because thank you, Janice. Because I feel like a lot of times you go to watch a video and everybody's doing the same thing. It's almost like, Julie, what is that called? Whenever you what is that called where they have Mockingbird Media? Y'all know what I'm talking about. You can put on any news station and they're all talking about the same thing, almost word per word. So, Papa Pete's here, Wanda Arnold. But you know, that's what it kind of seemed like to me, because it seems like for some reason, for the last couple of weeks, everybody's had the same thing going on. I was too. I was wondering. And it made me a little nervous. And then, you know, I kept on watching because I know that Case said in one of his lives, and this was like a month, 6 weeks ago, talking about we're going to see that either some of them were working with the Blanchards or that some of them were riding that fence. But nothing's ever come out. And I know he said on his live a few days ago, he was like, well, Gypsy's not paying for anybody. But you know that she may not be paying with her own money, but views kind of pays, is what I'm thinking. But I just would love to know what he meant about that. And we haven't heard anything. I just think that's kind of weird. And I've been watching. I've been trying to read like anything on GRB Snark. Now GRB Snark has got a backup channel, so I'm looking on that. And I'm not seeing anything. So I'm wondering what that was all about. Mostly, why would these people... Hold on. Oh, thank you, Seeds of Change. Thank you. Thank you for that $5 super sticker. Thank you. Mostly, why would these people so close reach out to these particular creators? I don't know. I don't know. And what about Christy? Has Christy said any? I mean, I haven't really heard her say much either. Not lately. Have you? Now, I've heard with Kenda A, I heard that it was being said somewhere that he may, you know, we talked about this earlier. Somebody said that he might be in rehab. But like I said earlier, I just don't see him being in rehab. It's really expensive. Well, I think Krusty has actually done that a lot. Because if you, what is that one creator's name? That Gypsy was on her station when she first got with Ken. Natasha Cooper. Y'all remember, Christy was friends with Natasha Cooper. I think, yes, I thought this too. I think she kind of manipulated Case a little bit too. And the reason why I say that is because, do you guys remember, Case was like, well, I'm not going to say anything bad about Christy. But why? Why wouldn't you? Because you got to think, Christy has been part of some of this of doxing people. Has she not? And then Christy and Gypsy both. And don't forget about Bree. Has anybody seen the F Bree I? Has anybody seen the F Bree I? Because I haven't heard about Bree in a couple of weeks. I think that's something that's really funny. And Janice, that's what I'm wondering. Because you know that live that she did, I never heard a baby there. And you would think that you would hear a baby during that. She was friends with Fancy. Yeah, without a crystal ball. I think Christy is just as bad as Gypsy. And what gives Christy the right to talk about Dee Dee like she did? Exactly, Seeds of Change. Who sends baby pictures? And not only to a complete stranger, but to a man. How do you know, and I'm just going to say this. I'm not saying that Case is this. I'm not saying he is at all. But you don't know. You're sending it to a man that you don't know that may have a fetish. You don't know. Why would you send that to a man that you don't know? There's no birth certificate for any child in Louisiana born to GRP. Are you serious? Let me say something about this, because I've talked to some people about this. Do you think that maybe, I don't think the baby was born on the day that they say that she was born. I really don't. If there is a baby, because I don't know 100% if there is one or not. I just don't know. But the changing of the pregnancy belly. Now, I can understand when she was maybe 3 or 4 months. But if you remember at that book signing, do y'all remember? Even at her divorce, do you remember? She looked like she was 9 months pregnant. Then 5 minutes later, she was back to being skinny again. And what if she gave birth in Florida when they were gone to see Ken's dad? What if that happened? What if she gave birth in Florida? If she even did. And, Rose Red, I love Rose Red. She had an app. I seen her not too long ago. And Rose Red actually had an app on her phone. And it sounded just like a baby. Just like a baby was in the same room as she was. And it was just an app on her phone. Isn't that crazy? And I tell you what kind of upset me. Let me say this too, because I was kind of upset when Case called out Gypsy's panty crust. But he also called out Rose Red. And Rose Red is another one of the smaller creators. Why call out some of us smaller creators? I haven't seen Rose Red in a little while. Yeah, I haven't seen her in a while. And I really like her. I really respect her. Hold on. What is this? But let me tell you about that. The same day that same night that she was supposed to be in labor, if you guys remember, that was the same time that, remember that it was hacked? Do y'all remember? Her TikTok was supposedly hacked. At the same time, she was in labor, supposedly laying over in the hospital, having contractions, but she was on the phone to TikTok. And not only was she on the phone for TikTok, this came out of her mouth. She said that she was watching that the guy that did her TikTok, her and Christy was watching it on Christy's phone, but put another layer on it. If you remember, Christy said she was out of town on a road trip. Do y'all remember? I think her baby shower was a couple of months before she had supposedly had that baby. And Janice, I don't think that she was hacked at all. And those messages, now that we've got the emails, I think that there's some stuff that kind of aligns with that same time. October, is that when she had the baby shower? I think that's right, isn't it? And I think it's funny how she said that you know, how people were giving money to the hacker. They were giving that money to the hacker, you know, just to say a big F you to Gypsy. And then Gypsy turned around and said, oh, I got all of that money that everybody sent. Oh, that baby shower was hideous. It was hideous. Now, I wonder if she planned that hack, is what I was wondering. Bubba Pot Pie says, no, baby, at least not hers. I think so, too. This is what I think about Ken and Ryan and all that thing. I think that Ken and Gypsy, this is my opinion. I think that Ken and Gypsy talked to each other because we know they were talking before she even got out of prison, right? I think that they both planned her marrying Ryan because Ryan looked so good on paper. And I think that she was supposed to stay with Ryan for a little bit longer. And she didn't. Because you know she doesn't have any follow through. She does not have any follow through at all. So she just had to leave as quick as she can. But I really think that her and Ken and all of that was all planned, in my opinion. Yes, and the baby was simply a plot twist to ensure another season. And I'll go one step further. I think that Ken going into that jewelry store at the end of season 2 was supposed to ensure that they had a season 3. Yeah, I think so. That it could be that too, oh crying Ryan. But not only that, I don't think that Gypsy could even stand to even look at Ryan, because you could tell the night that she got out of prison, she couldn't even hardly stand to even look at him in the face. That's what I think, because then, do you remember him trying to get closer and closer to him? And she was like, just let me breathe. Get away from me. I thought that was funny. I just thought that was really funny. But you could tell, I think that you could tell that, yes, she was disgusted with him. Yes, that's absolutely right. That's exactly what I think. I didn't watch the show either. I didn't. I just watched the little clips. But you know how pathetic he looks right now? He looks pathetic. Yes, he is creepy. Maybe Ken and Krusty have known each other longer than... You know what? I thought something like that too. Because you notice whenever on the show, when Ken pulled up in his truck, he gets out and the dog runs straight to Krusty. Didn't you think that was weird? I thought that was just kind of weird, because usually dogs don't just run and jump. I mean, maybe they could, but I just, that just seemed like, that seemed to me that Krusty knew Ken longer, because it almost felt like to me that the dog knew Krusty. I could be wrong, but the way Parker ran to Krusty, it was almost like she's been around him before. That's what I think. Hey, Scandalous. Dee Bayer is here. And why does she keep in contact with the exes? That is just weird. I don't think she can stand Ryan. I just really don't think she can stand Ryan. Let me see. Maybe a cousin. I mean, that is just so weird to me. And Rod knew. And I think it was funny whenever Rod was talking to Gypsy and Ken, and he told Ken, hey, Gypsy's looking for a baby. I heard that too. I heard that rumor. I didn't see anything that actually, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think that Ken is in with all the games that they like to play. I think they all, and you know, when you look at it, look at all these people involved. You got Rod, Christy, Ken. They're all in it for the money. And you know, they say it. Who was it? Oh, I think it was on Angel Baby. Guys, you have to spilling tea with Angel Baby. I just love her. But do you remember she had a source, and it's not a Blanchard. She made sure to tell everybody it's not a Blanchard. But if you remember, that source said that Rod was getting sick and tired of the drama that Christy is doing and is ready for Gypsy just to go far away. He wants him to move to Florida. I wonder how it went with Mia living. But, you know, I think that was a really bad move because you know how jealous Gypsy is of Mia. And with Mia able to live at Ken's when Gypsy can't be there, you know she was probably giving her a look. I'm telling you, that jealousy was strong. And, you know, she tried to explain in her live the jealousy between her and Mia, trying to put it up on her mother. I just don't think her mother said all that. The brush, Justin Shades, I just thought about something. You know, they talked about how, because it made us think on the show that it was just Ken living there. What if that brush was really Mia's? Because Mia was actually living there, but nobody really knew it. What if that brush was really Mia's? And I'm not saying Mia and Ken did anything. I mean, I think she wouldn't give Ken the time of day. Hey, Aunt Edna. But that's what I want to know. Are you serious? I just wonder about that. All of that stuff it's just really strange to me. But if you think about it, because none of us knew, I just think that brush was manufactured drama. And it was actually Mia's brush. Because if you think about it, it had blonde in the brush. And it was trying to make everybody think that he kept his girlfriend's brush after all those years. No, I don't. I just thought about that. But that could be it, guys. Because it seems like everything that they did on her show had to be manufactured. Because if you think about it, I think that's why the show never did good at all. It's because we all knew what was going to happen on the show. Because she told everything that she was doing. Hey, Jancy. I think you're telling the truth. Mia needs to watch her back. Her relationship never allowed Gypsy or Ken around her children. I absolutely agree. Absolutely. Not only that, I just think that's just awful. Now, let me ask you guys this. What do you think her next move is going to be? I think so too. I'm willing to bet Dee Dee made excuses to make Rod not seem so bad. That's what moms do to try to protect their children. That is absolutely right. That is absolutely, I believe that myself. I really do. But I think, and you know, there's so much with this baby. Is there a baby or isn't there? But I would have thought if there was, this is why I'm on the fence with that. There's some days I feel there is one. There's some days I feel like there isn't one. But I would think by now Gypsy would have went ahead and put the baby out there. I would have thought that she would have she would have shown the face. And maybe that's why there wasn't another season, because maybe there wasn't a baby and Lifetime couldn't go along with that lie. Because I would have thought that the baby would have been out there. What do you guys think? I mean, but what is she going to do next? What do you guys think she's going to do next? Because if you think about it, that money that she made from all that stuff and the way she was spending money, really and truly, that's not a lot of money. And especially if you don't have a lot of money coming in now. So what is she going to do? And I really don't think Ken can make enough money to support a baby, if there is one, and Gypsy. Is she going to? I read somewhere on GRB Snark, they were like, whoops, you don't have any money coming in. Here comes the wheelchair, stage left. I mean, I don't know. But, you know, I don't know. I think that she's going to have to do something next. She came on that live the other day. I think it was to make sure that that station did not go away with all of those followers. And not only that, she still had people sending her money. Who is sending her money now? Gypsy admitted that those sonogram pics that her and Ken had taken in the park, she wasn't even pregnant at the time. Exactly. But I think that, I don't know. I think that she's going to, you know, she did that because she's also making money. Because, you know, that live, she had people throwing money at her when she was on that TikTok. I just really don't understand who would be throwing her money to her now. It's just crazy. It's just crazy to me. Guys, I got to get off of here. I got to get back to the yard sale. I got a lot to clean up before dark. But thank you so much for coming and joining me. Guys, I love you so much. And I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.